What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, and in today's video we'll be going over the first half of part 14 of the Master Key System. As always, we're reading out the Master Key System by Charles F. Hannell. If you want to go ahead and grab your copy, check the description in the check the link in the description box below. Alright, so as you guys know, in these types of videos we always go over questions and answers. We will review the questions on what we're about to learn before the reading, and then after I'm finished reading we'll go over the answers towards the end of the video, so stay for that. So what are we going to learn today? What is the source of all wisdom, power, and intelligence? Where do all motion, light, heat, and color have their origin? And where does the creative power of thought originate? What is thought? How is the universal differentiated in form? And how is this accomplished? So we got a bunch of cool information we're about to learn today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the introduction of part 14. Then we'll head right into the body of part 14. All right. So, introduction to part 14. You have found from your study thus far that thought is a spiritual activity and is therefore endowed with creative power. This does not mean that some thought is creative, but that all thought is creative. This same principle can be brought into operation in a negative way, through the process of denial. The conscious and subconscious are but two phases of action in connection with one mind. The relation of the subconscious to the conscious is quite analogous to that existing between a weather vane and the atmosphere. Just as the least pressure of the atmosphere causes an action on the part of the weather vane, so does the least thought entertained by the conscious mind produce within your subconscious mind action in exact proportion to the depth of feeling characterizing the thought and the intensity with which the thought is indulged. It follows that if you deny unsatisfactory conditions, you are withdrawing the creative power of your thought from these conditions. You are cutting them away at the root. You are sapping their vitality. Remember that the law of growth necessarily governs every manifestation in the objective, so that a denial of unsatisfactory conditions will not bring about instant change. A plant will remain visible for some time after its roots have been cut, but it will gradually fade away and eventually disappear. So the withdrawal of your thought from the contemplation of unsatisfactory conditions will gradually but surely terminate these conditions. You will see that this is an exactly opposite course from the one which we would naturally be inclined to adopt. It will therefore have an exactly opposite effect to the one usually secured. Most persons concentrate intently upon unsatisfactory conditions, thereby giving the condition that measure of energy and vitality which is necessary in order to supply vigorous growth. Alright guys, so part 14. The universal energy in which all motion, light, heat, and color have their origin does not partake of the limitation of the many effects of which it is the cause, but it is supreme over them all. The universal substance is the source of all power, wisdom, and intelligence. To recognize the intelligence is to acquaint yourself with the knowing quality of mind, and through it to move upon the universal substance and bring it into harmonious relations in your affairs. This is something that the most learned physical science teacher has not attempted, a field of discovery upon which he has not yet launched. In fact, but few of the materialistic schools have ever caught the first ray of this light. It does not seem to have dawned upon them that wisdom is just as much present everywhere as are force and substance. Some will say, if these principles are true, why are we not demonstrating them? As the fundamental principle is obviously correct, why do we not get proper results? We do. We get results in exact accordance with our understanding of the law and our ability to make the proper application. We secured no result from the laws governing electricity until someone formulated the law and showed us how to apply it. This puts us in an entirely new relation to our environment, opening up possibilities previously undreamed of, and this by an orderly sequence of law which is naturally involved in our new mental attitude. Mind is creative, and the principle upon which this law is based is sound and legitimate, and is inherent in the nature of things. But this creative power does not originate in the individual but in the universal, which is the source and fountain of all energy and substance. The individual is simply the channel for the distribution of this energy. The individual is the means by which the universal produces the various combinations which result in the formation of phenomena. We know that scientists have resolved matter into an immense number of molecules. These molecules have been resolved into atoms, and the atoms into electrons. The discovery of electrons in high vacuum glass tubes containing fused terminals of hard metal indicates conclusively that these electrons fill all space, that they exist everywhere, that they are omnipresent. They fill all material bodies and occupy the whole of what we call empty space. This, then, is the universal substance from which all things proceed. Electrons would forever remain electrons unless directed where to go to be assembled into atoms and molecules, and this director is mind. A number of electrons revolving around a center of force constitutes an atom. Atoms unite in absolutely regular mathematical ratios and form molecules, and these unite with each other to form a multitude of compounds which unite to build the universe. The lightest known atom is hydrogen, and this is 1,700 times heavier than an electron. An atom of mercury is 300,000 times heavier than an electron. Electrons are pure negative electricity, and as they have the same potential velocity as all other cosmic energies such as heat, light, electricity, and thought, neither time nor space require consideration. The manner in which the velocity of light was ascertained is interesting. The velocity of light was obtained by the Danish astronomer Romer in 1676 by observing the eclipses of Jupiter's moons. When the Earth was nearest to Jupiter, the eclipse appeared about 8½ minutes too soon for the calculations. And when the Earth was most remote from Jupiter, they were about 8½ minutes too late. Romer concluded the reason to be that it required 17 minutes for light from the planet to traverse the diameter of the Earth's orbit, which measured the difference of the distances of the Earth from Jupiter. This calculation has since been verified and proves that light travels about 186,000 miles a second. God damn. Electrons manifest in the body as cells and possess mind and intelligence sufficient for them to perform their functions in the human physical anatomy. Every part of the body is composed of cells, some of which operate independently, others in communities. Some are busy building tissue, while others are engaged in forming the various secretions necessary for the body. Some act as carriers of materials, others are the surgeons whose work it is to repair damage, others are scavengers carrying off waste, others are constantly ready to repel invaders or other undesirable intruders of the germ family. All these cells are moving for a common purpose, and each one is not only a living organism, but has sufficient intelligence to enable it to perform its necessary duties. It is also endowed with sufficient intelligence to conserve the energies and perpetuate its own life. It must therefore secure sufficient nourishment, and it has been found that it exercises choice in the selection of such nourishment. Each cell is born, reproduces itself, dies, and is absorbed. The maintenance of health and life itself depends upon the constant regeneration of these cells. It is therefore apparent that there is mind in every atom of the body. This mind is negative mind, and the power of the individual to think makes him positive, so that he can control this negative mind. This is the scientific explanation for metaphysical healing, and will enable anyone to understand the principle upon which this remarkable phenomena rests. So, this is the first half of part 14. I believe so. Yep, the first half of part 14. So let's go ahead and get right into the answers, guys. So, what is the source of all wisdom, power, and intelligence? The universal mind. Where do all motion, light, heat, and color have their origin? In the universal energy, which is one manifestation of the universal mind. Where does the creative power of thought originate? In the universal mind. What is thought? Mind and motion. How is the universal differentiated in form? The individual is the means by which the universal produces the various combinations which result in formation of the phenomena. And how is this accomplished? The power of the individual to think is his ability to act upon the universal and bring it into manifestation. All right, guys, so that is the end of the video. And as always, I truly, truly appreciate you guys for staying through the whole video, watching, reading with me, and learning something new. So if you enjoyed that, go ahead, smash the like button, tap the subscribe button, help us with our current goal of 1,000 subscribers. And if you have any questions, if you want to talk about this, go more in depth about it, you can always email me at info@tycoontalk.xyz or leave a comment in the comment section below, and we'll start a positive dialect and go ahead and, go into depth with, various ideas. Tell me what you thought about this. Let me know any other topics you'd like me to discuss or go more in depth about in the comment section below as well. And you can check the description box below for all of my links to my online store, ebooks, courses, templates, everything in between is there in the description box below. And if you like this video, go ahead and check out my other videos on the channel where I talk about how to make passive income with cryptocurrency, how to fix your own credit, the financial markets, and everything in between, man. A bunch of cool information you can't necessarily find easily anywhere else. So go ahead and check that out on my channel. It's going to be in the playlist section. You go ahead and It's going to be organized in the playlist section. So 1, 2, 3, it's going to be crypto, creative consciousness. Go ahead and check those out. Whichever one strikes your interest the most, you can start there. And as always, guys, I want to thank you once again and send you infinite abundance now and forever. My friends, I will see you again tomorrow. Peace.